What is up, y'all? It's your boy Jonas Rex of the 1912 Titanic swim team. And here we are. We're about to look at some Golden Frieza gameplay. All right, so here we're trying to figure out how Golden Frieza can fit, or he's not even Golden Frieza, Jesus. How Frieza can fit into the meta, Yellow Frieza. So we got going on here. Go ahead and speed this up 2 times speed. All right, so off the early game, we're looking around. What is he going to be doing? Drop some Astaroshi, completely fine. Comes to our turn. We go ahead and charge the Cooler. Probably not going to need him. Again, Cooler's not really part of my tournament list, but on the client, we don't have a ton, so we just attack. The whole game plan here is when this leader awakens, he can't draw any more cards. So we're going to try and keep as few cards in his hand as possible while generating as many cards into our hand as possible. So what we're going to do going second is on this turn, we're going to drop for 2, getting us closer to awakening. But on that turn 4, where we're at 4 energy because of the marker, we're going to go ahead and drop this Vegeta, who's going to drop a Bulma. And then ideally, we have another Bulma in hand to play for the energy marker. And then we're going to draw 2 off that attack, draw 2 on our opponent's attack unless they remove it. And that would be ideal. Again, we're trying to keep as much value here, but if that was a 20k attack like I thought it would be, then we would have been able to entirely block that with just 1 card, but I didn't read, so we lost it and lost a card. Hopefully it doesn't bite us in the rear later. Here, triggering both Bulma abilities, go ahead and draw 2. This Vegeta is crucial to the strategy because it keeps our rest mode battle cards from being KO'd. So here we go to Awaken, draw another card. You see our hand size already climbing up to 11. Stay attacking his characters. We don't want to give him the opportunity. We go ahead and stand both the Bulmas. He brings down the Gohan. He's going to start attacking into this Vegeta. This is a Vegeta where if I can protect him for 1 card, I'm going to protect him. Use the other Bulma so we can draw another card, protect it. Swings 20, we can get out of that with 1 card. We're going to protect it. This is just so crucial to the strategy because it keeps our rest mode stuff from being removed, meaning that we can attack multiple times. Going to drop our second Bulma. Final explosion, get rid of the 2. And again, here we go, back to drawing a ton of cards. Don't draw there, miss the triggers, but we're going to draw here off both Bulmas. Bang! Slowly whittling him down. Standing our Bulma, see our 11 card hand. So with this 11 card hand, again, we can protect the Vegeta if we need to. And we're getting more and more cards on top of it. So if he had some type of removal, he should have used it on the Bulmas then. But because he chose to attack first, now our Bulmas are protected from being KO'd. And this Beerus is going to attempt to KO, can't KO anything. He's going to go ahead and swing a critical. But again, 1 card. If we can get out of it with 1 card, we will. Try and just keep this hand advantage. And we have a lot of extras in our hands, so we can go ahead and start charging those coming up. So we're not going to need them. Again, drawing many cards. Up to 13 cards in hand. We're going to draw 2 more, get ourselves up to 15. Bringing down the Golden Frieza. Going to swing double here. He's going to go ahead and counter out of that, which is fine. We don't want to awaken him until after we've connected with the double strike. We want to put him to 2 life. Essentially, he's defending the extra life also at 15. Goku gives a bunch of stuff minus 20k though, so we lost a lot of bodies there, unfortunately. We have no protection against that in yellow yet. Go ahead and charge another extra. Use the Death Ball. Just put him in a position where he's going to give us a few cards out of his hand to get rid of it. To make sure the other one can't stand, and again, put him in a position where he has to give us at least 2 cards in his hand to get rid of it. He only has 2 cards in hand, and we have so many extra cards in hand that we can freely go ahead and use that. We're not swinging here, again, because we want to connect with that double strike before he awakens, so that double strike will put him to 2 life when he awakens rather than 3. He goes and searches, brings down his double striker, chooses to give me minus 20k there, but we're in active mode because we didn't swing. We can get out of that with just a super combo, so we will. Now comes following turn. What are we going to do here? We're going to go ahead and swing double strike here. We want to take those 2 lives off of him. All right, we got him. He chose to defend there with the 10k. And here he finally chooses to awaken. 30k again. He doesn't have very many cards in hand. Our Vegeta stands, puts him down to 1 life. We bring down our Goku. Goku's gonna stun the other threat. Stun him twice, because why not? And keeping him on this really low hand size. So right here, we have our 2 biggest threats still stood up. We have one 10k counter and a super combo. We're gonna use the super combo here because we can. That's 7 energy, though. He could really whittle down the board if we weren't able to restand our stuff. But being that we're closing for game, we're not too worried about our hand size at this moment because he doesn't have a lot of swings or options to get through what we have to offer. Bring down the golden Frieza. Gonna go ahead and accidentally target the one that can't be getting rid of. We should have hit the double strike or the Beerus. But that's fine because we're just going for game here. We're gonna swing 30, 30, 35, and 40. I don't think he has enough to get out of all of that, right? So here we go, 30 again. 1 card in his hand. We're just gonna go ahead and swing 40 for the win. And that's how you get through UI Goku. We'll go ahead and look at one more gameplay. And our next gameplay is going to be against Blue Vegeta. So here we go, up against Blue Vegeta. He has the full setup, the full build. So the idea here is this is going to be a really tough matchup because our Vegeta is not going to protect us from anything. He can go ahead and bottom deck all of our stuff, return it to hand. That 3-cost Vegeta is not going to protect us from that. The idea is we want to outvalue him by establishing Bulmas on board so we can draw a ton of cards. Being that he's going to try and stay around that 7-card hand size, defensively he's going to be pretty weak, and if we can overwhelm him that way, we can probably outgrind him. If we end up having to get into a situation where we are on the defensive end, he can start peel-off looping us for big damage, and that's where we're going to be in trouble. So we do want to awaken early, so so we can start restanding bodies just to add another level of protection to them. If they can't swing into them, that's no counter that's going to be coming out of my hand. And again, just attacking the bodies that are on the board, not really worried about going for the life right now. If we can force the cards out of their hand as they want to protect the bodies, we will. If they choose to let them go, awesome. They will not be swinging at us to take cards out of our hand. Sweet, give me another card in hand, put me 1 step closer to awakening. On 3, going to 4, it looks like we have our same setup here. We're going to use Vegeta, take the life, play Bulma. Bulma plays, and then we use the energy marker to play another Bulma. Go ahead and awaken, drawing another card. Now we have the uphill battle of them just having all the counter that they're going to have. They have counter on board. We don't really have a ton of removal in yellow. That is great to just get bodies off the board, so we're just going to rely on attacking and causing him to use his counter. And there he goes, gets it off the board for us. We connect and restand our Bulmas, hoping that we can draw more cards. So on 4 here, he sickles, but he gets rid of the 2 bodies instead of the Bulmas, which is interesting, and then chooses to put the other Bulma back into our hand. So we're in a situation where we can definitely replay that Bulma on the following turn. In fact, we can replay 2 Bulmas. So here we're going to go ahead and play down a Vegeta, play a Bulma, and play another Bulma. We swing, we're drawing 3. We want as many cards in our hand as possible because we need to be able to counter and we need to be able to attack. Just trying to win the hand advantage game here, so we connect. Getting him down to 5. Sending him down to 4. Looks like he's going to awaken. We are going to restand 2 of our Bulmas, and we're just going to keep him moving. All right, so now this is where he's going to be a real threat because being able to swing 35k every single turn can definitely ruin some of our hand advantages. We have to counter out of that, but 1 super combo, if he chooses not to combo, doesn't do a ton. So we're going to go ahead and draw 3 here, or draw 2 because we can restand the other one. Super combo our way out of that. If we can get out of it with 1 card, we will. All of these extras, we're going to go ahead and charge them. No need to waste a final explosion right here on the extra board. No need to waste a death beam on these combos. We're going to be drawing 3 cards every turn if he doesn't do anything about them. So we're just going to slowly force cards out of his hand. Dropping down the double strike Frieza. Will he take the 2 lives? No, he's going to combo off his board. That's completely fine with me here. End of turn, stand our 2 Bulmas, looking to draw 2 more cards. Our current hand size is 18. We currently have 18 cards in hand, and Zeno eats our entire board. That does suck, but with such a big hand, we can just reestablish a board going forward. And again, if we can get out of every swing with 1 card, we will do it. So we're going to go ahead and super combo here. All right, back to us. We go ahead and charge away some of those extras. We have way too many final explosions. We're going to swing just to get the draw, force another card out of his hand. We'd love that. On 6, we think for a second, but we're going to go ahead and play wide. We're going to get the Majin Buu down because he is going to have a tough time removing that. And then we'll just restand the Buu here. There was no need to play anything else there. Nothing was in range that was worth playing. The Nies would have taken a life. Putting down the 2-cost Frieza is just a little too removable right now, and he's just much better as counter power in our hand. So putting this Buu up, that's going to pressure him every single turn. He's not going to really be able to get rid of that. Because he can go ahead and reduce the cost, but he can't choose it with any of his skills. So it's going to be real tough to get by that. He would have to sickle it or use, I believe it's the Gallic Gun. Is it Gallic Gun or is it Final Flash? Probably Final Flash. So we're going to just go ahead and pop the 6-drop. I don't want him playing 4 drops every single turn. That's really good value for him. Swinging to the last one, 4 cards in his hand. I'm not going to put any more cards in his hand at this exact moment. Just going to maintain my board. We'll let him connect there as we didn't have any more super combos, so it would have cost us a pretty penny to get out of that. Zenos us again. And that's fine. He starts a little bit of a peel-off loop there. We just swing into the Zeno. Swing into the Zeno again. He lets it go. Now we're going to go ahead and drop Cooler because Cooler's on attack is going to go ahead and pop those small bodies. So this is something that you might want to consider playing against Blue is this 4-drop Cooler because it can remove those little bodies on attack and on block as well. So that's something to consider. Go ahead and restand the Vegeta. And instead of swinging into him again and leaving a target for him to swing at, we're going to go ahead and just leave the Vegeta standing. But then he drops his double strike Vegeta and bottom decks our Vegeta, which I felt was a poor choice, leaving the Cooler, because now that puts us in a position where we can go ahead and block and give a 10K instead of having to face down these 35K swings, especially from the double strike. So he goes ahead and peel offs. But when he swings, we can go ahead and block this and then pop one of those, so that's less combo power that he's going to have. Boom, hit the peel off. It's 45. Well, we can get out of that with 2 cards, and this is a really high-value target for us right now because we can go ahead and keep popping those 2 or lesses and being able to block and get rid of those swings that he's going to have, because those are big swings, but being able to block at 30K just puts us in range to 10K out of those, and we have many 10Ks in our hand right now. Boom, we swing. We're going to go ahead and get Bulma back into the mix here. Bulma drops. Now we swing, get to start drawing even more cards here. Again, drawing into a lot of extras, but on the client, don't have all the cards that I would like to have, but these are good extra cards, right? We played the final explosions for when you run into Jiren. You need to play 2 of those back-to-back to get rid of him. The Death Beam and the Death Ball are just good to have. You can probably reduce those to 1 of if you wanted to play other just good yellow cards. Here he goes to that 35K. We're going to go ahead and block, just give it 10K. We're also going to draw another card. Boom, gave him 10K. That's no problem. And he brings down the Vegito here. So we're really at a point where he's on 1 life left. If we can just survive this onslaught, we should be good. So we're going to take 1. He's going to restand. I'm already reading that he's probably going to play a second Vegito. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this one. And then we just have to get out of 1 more Vegito swing, because even then he won't be able to kill us, and he's all tapped out on energy. He gave us counter by putting the Goku back in hand, which is crazy, but we go ahead and we Death Ball there with the energy that we had left standing. Then he restands, swings 1 more time, and we'll go ahead and take that because he can't do any more damage. Doesn't matter, as long as we have 1 life left as we close out the game, we're solid. So we're going to go ahead and swing 30 because we can. He's going to give us a 10K. We draw on the swing. He's going to give us a super combo because he has to. We're going to swing 25, drawing a card because we can. He's going to go up to 40 with his last super combo. He has no cards in hand, so we're going to go ahead and drop Sorbet just for the memes, and we're going to combo everything into Sorbet for the W. And that is my showcase here of how to play Yellow Frieza into the current meta. It's really tough if you don't get those Bulmas off and draw a ton of cards. So you want to make sure that you are establishing Bulmas and you're drawing as much as you can and you're protecting the Bulmas. That 3-drop Vegeta protects the Bulma. And if you don't Protect the Bulma, your hand size is not going to be big enough to really overcome these grind games, especially against blue. It's going to be really tough. So let's just go ahead and have a quick look at the deck list. All right, so here's the list. We're playing 4 of the Bulma. We're playing 3 Sorbet. Sorbet is probably my most easily cuttable card. I don't really need Sorbet on the list. We're trying to establish the Bulmas, but if you're trying to fill out any extra space, definitely add in the Sorbet. The on-play draw 1 5k counter is just a staple in most decks. I play this 10k Frieza. Usually use him as a 10k, but if you need to tap something so you can either stun it or you can KO it with the 6-drop Frieza, that's always an option. We have our Niaz. He's a really good awakener, swings 20k, puts pressure on the opponent. He's also a 10k, so after we hit the point where we've awakened, when we can't play him anymore, we are still going to have a 10k in hand, which is awesome. This is probably our best awakener, the 2-drop Frieza. When attacking, you can take a life, so that's something you could use multiple turns in a row and help you awaken as quickly as possible. We're playing 2 of the Son Gohan Adolescents. This one on play lets you rest a 3. Choose one of your opponent's rest on battle cards that can't switch out. So anything cannot switch to active, it gets stunned. We're playing 2 of the Vegeta. You really only need 2 of the Vegeta. If you're not seeing it, you can go ahead and add it up to 3 or 4, but if you're playing at 4, you're going to be in a lot of situations where it's in your hand and you can't get rid of it. We're going to put that back in the deck. We have the Majin Buu. I like the Majin Buu. I was playing 4 of the Majin Buu, but he does have 0 counter, and then especially into a meta where blue is going to be swinging big at the end of the game, like with that Vegeta, we're going to want this blocker cooler. So playing 2 of the blocker cooler is another awesome option that you have. We have the one of the 40k Frieza that you need to restand because he cannot restand himself. Definitely a cuttable card. Doesn't, as you've seen, didn't really come up in either gameplay. And then we go straight down into our 4 drops. Goku's a 10k, so we're going to max out on him because he's a 10k and he's also a really strong card. We're only playing 1 of the Vegeta because I only have 1. If I had more, I would play more. I like this card a lot. I can see myself replacing the Frieza for another copy, so we can play 2. We have the Golden Frieza. We're currently playing 3, and we're playing 1 of the 6-cost Golden Frieza. What you can do is go ahead and play 2 of the 6 cost, 2 of the double strike. I just do not have 1 on the client. We have our 4 super combos. We got a real pretty one right there as well. Golden Death Beam, you can cut this to 1. Rarely comes up, but when it does, it's really useful. Blue Power Awakening is just for the green matchups. You do need to get rid of the 6 drops. Also can come up in the UI Goku match. You can go ahead and use this to KO a 6 or higher. Keep in mind it is a 6 or higher, not a 6 or less. So you're not, if you are playing this against most matchups that don't go higher than 5, it's completely a dead card unless you use it for the counter ability on your opponent's turn. Final Explosion, we're currently playing 4. I would play 4 of these if you expect to see Jiren. If you do not expect to see Jiren, you can go ahead and cut this to 2. Jiren is just so tough to get rid of in yellow that you really want to play. You want to have 2 of these in your hand to get rid of it at all times. In every other matchup, it really becomes a brick. You don't need to use it that often. And that's the deck list here. If you guys have anything that you disagree with, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. If you have anything that you do agree with, or if you want the list, here it is. Until next time, it's been Jonas Rex of the 1912 Titanic Swim Team. See you later, crewmates.